here at the Canada and Alberta Cup at the Canmore Nordic Centre, competing in an XCC and XCO Pilot event, which is our first step in becoming a UCI sanctioned event. There's paracycling and e-biking. We really just need to combine the two for PARA Adaptive Mountain Biking. I mean, the sport already exists. It's just new that we can do it. So I'm riding a Bowhead RX. They're why this sport was able to exist today. Without the Bowhead RX and the way that it leans, we couldn't do these courses. Cross-country Olympic, XCO, consists of completing multiple laps around a 4 to 10 kilometer, 2.5 to 6 mile circuit with a duration of about 90 minutes for elite classes. It's the only cross-country discipline in the Olympic program and was first introduced in 1996. 20 years after the first downhill races with clunkers down on Repack in Marin County. The courses are interesting in that they're single track trails, mountain bike trails, but they leave wide portions for passing. There's also what we call A lines and B lines. A lines would be a tougher, more technical bit of trail that would favor a really skilled rider and would give them an advantage in time or distance over someone who was a little less technical or a little less skilled and chose the B line, which would be a much safer and easier ride. It allows for a fit athlete, maybe from a traditional paracycling event, to compete against a more mountain bike focused athlete and still have a competitive, battle that goes on. But let's get back a little bit. How did we end up here? In the 1970s, Joe Breeze and Charlie Kelly modified old paperboy delivery bikes for off-road use. In 1976, they started racing down old dirt roads west of Fairfax, Marin County. The racing is what pushed the development of the bikes available today. Specialized's first foray into mountain biking was the Stump Jumper in 1981, coining the slogan, "It's not just a new bicycle, it's a whole new sport." That's sort of what we feel about the Bowhead RX. It's been a brainchild of mine for the last 20 years, but was brought to market in June 2021. 51 years on from those old clunkers. Bowhead RX is what allows us to race today and draws parallels with the early days of mountain biking. More from the ability to do it, but currently using the best technology that's available in mountain bikes today. So a bit of a blend. This sport really wouldn't exist without the new Bowhead RX. Without the Bowhead RX and the way that it leans, we couldn't do these courses. It's our first step in becoming a UCI sanctioned event. It's like history is repeating itself. Globally, XC racing is governed by the Union Cycliste Internationale, or UCI. UCI world rankings, both for elite and under 23 categories for men and women, continue to be extremely important, particularly for counting towards nations' quotas for world championships and Olympic Games. Both the women and men's UCI world ranking consist of 3 separate classifications: individual, team, and nations. Points can be won at all events registered on the UCI International Calendar, although the number up for grabs varies greatly from race to race. The Canada Cup's XCO is a Class 1 event, and the XCC was a Class 3 event. These national events are important for funneling people up to World Cup events. Unlike in the 1970s, we have the benefit of the establishment already being in place. The trails, the equipment, the way that they mark courses, the way that they start and finish them, all matched with the Bowhead RX, and the way the athletes ride. So it's kind of a no-brainer with e-biking existing and us using a modern e-bike motor with a governed amount of wattage, no throttle, it matches all the UCI e-bike regulations, and paracycling existing and parasport in general existing. There's already the building blocks to be part of the UCI. All we need to do is compete in more and more races like this to check off all the boxes so that as we learn as a community, both paracyclists and the UCI, we can come together to really create what will be, hopefully, the next Paralympic sport. It looks like we've got success. We did it.